It get hotter in the summer, yeah. Hotter in the summer.
Oh, I never do test shots.
The winter don't stand no chances. Hotter in the summer, yeah. Hotter in the summer. The winter don't stand no chances. Hotter in the summer.
Front of your back, be careful who you hugging, you dab. Cause these niggas ain't your brother like that. Don't really love you like that. From the land of snakes, trying to be a great. Trusting everybody that I love, that was my mistake. Turn me cold-hearted to a savage. If you f me over, I ain't giving out passes. Doing big shit, we ain't doing nothing average. Hotter in the summer if you ask.
It get hotter in the summer.
Hey everyone, today we are reviewing the Leica M10 camera. I have used in the past and owned Leica M240 and the Leica M9P. And the model to help us test this camera today for portraits is...
Hi everybody, my name is Thea, and I am the model for today.
And thank you so much for helping me out with this camera review.
I've honestly been wanting to work with you for the longest time, but you know, he's never wanted to follow me back.
We're following each other now.
Now we are.
On IG, yes.
Good thing we ran into each other at Applebee's.
Yes.
We love
Applebee's
it.
Guam.
Go there.
And since we're talking about our Instagrams, your Instagram, so our viewers can follow you.
My Instagram is moonlit.thea. I just love the moon.
Yes.
I really do, actually. That wasn't sarcasm.
And I did see an alternate IG account recently.
That is sundown.thea. That account is more, because if you see my Instagram, it's more photo shoots, more professionally done things. And Sundown is kind of the opposite of it. It shows my life, my friends, and things that aren't so serious or portfolio based, I guess. So there's two accounts.
Nice. And of course, I'll put both on the screen and in the description below. So my first impressions of using this camera compared to the M240 and M9P is actually slimmer at the top. And it kind of feels more towards what a lot of people say, like their film cameras.
Right.
So it's kind of trying to replicate or mimic a film camera, but it is not film, it is exactly the opposite.
Right. It just looks like it's vintage.
Correct, yes. Another thing I also noticed is the viewfinder in this M10 is actually larger than the M240 I used to have and M9P. So looking through this and just doing the framing to get the half body shots or full body shots is actually easier.
So it definitely is better than your old camera.
Yes, correct. And just, you can look through the viewfinder if you want to try it out. And the tab in the bottom is a focusing tab. So since the viewfinder is larger, it actually makes focusing, that small little white focus patch you see in the middle, easier.
The focus on this is really good from the photos that you
Oh yes,
showing me.
it's in focus.
Really good focus.
Yes, and the rear screen has been updated. It's all of a sudden the rear screen turned off, not sure.
Maybe it's overheating.
Oh no, I know it is kind of hot today. It was raining earlier.
Right.
If you could tell by my voice, a little under the weather. But we're just happy that the rain cleared out.
I know, how lucky are we? It was pouring really badly this morning.
It was, yes.
There we go. It works now.
Yes, so the rear screen, it's better quality than the previous cameras. So even in the sunlight, we can still see it clearly, and zooming in, we can see if the shots are in focus or not. It's okay, you just zoomed out and you saw everything.
I just zoomed out. Oh, how do I do this? Is this touchscreen?
Oh, the touchscreen is on the M10P.
Oh, okay.
This is just the M10.
Just to clarify?
Yes, and I'm thinking about maybe upgrading soon in the future.
Didn't you just buy this camera?
Yes, I should use it for, I know, I keep on going through so many cameras. I should use this for at least a year.
There you go,
Think about upgrading
like an
if
iPhone.
it's necessary.
Every
Correct,
2 years, right?
Yes. And you're in your first outfit, and you do have a second outfit later on?
I do.
Yes.
It's short, or skirt, so maybe it's gonna be less hot.
Yes. Okay, we'll keep on shooting.
Yes, stay tuned.
Gotta watch your front and your back. Be careful who you
lighting
hugging, you
is
dab.
good.
Cause these niggas ain't your brother like that. Don't really love you like that. From the land of snakes, trying to be a great. Trusting everybody that I love, that was my mistake. Turn me cold-hearted to a savage.
But
if you f me over, I ain't giving out passes. Doing big shit, we ain't doing nothing average. Hotter in the summer if you ask.
It get hotter in the summer, yeah. Hotter in the summer.
So just to let you know some of the internal features of this camera, it does have a 24 megapixel full frame sensor. And a lot of people would say that this sensor in this M10 is very good for low light. So as the sun goes down and we take some shots with higher light sensitivity ISO, it's not going to be that grainy. It should still be pretty clean. And the M10 still stays true. Hold mic, please.
Of course.
For the bottom plate, where you can actually take off the bottom plate like a film camera. The Leica M11 doesn't have this. The newer camera doesn't have this. It actually just has a bottom plate, brass plate that's stuck here, and then you just press it for the battery to come out. But I do like how I feel like I'm still using a film camera by taking off the bottom brass plate and taking out the SD card and changing the battery. And I mentioned before, no IBIS, no in-body image stabilization. So I have to be steady when holding the camera. But since the camera is small and has some weight to it, just slow shutter speeds, it's still going to be sharp. It's not like a big, heavy, bulky camera where I'm kind of holding it and I'm struggling to hold it up and the shots will be blurry. Plus the shutter I feel like it's very damp. And you can hear like when I take the shot.
Right. That's the cue.
Yeah.
Change your pose.
To change, for you to change your pose. So the shutter is very damp. I can feel like it's not vibrating a lot inside. So as long as you hold it still with a slower shutter speed, you should get sharp images. What do you think about the photo shoot so far? Like any of the images?
Pictures, yes. I was worried about the lighting because it's pretty low. I mean, it's bright, but it's low. But they look really good. I like how my skin looks. I like the focus that it has. It's very good quality. It's not grainy at all. And it focuses on the right things.
I do want to mention that the ISO, there's a firmware update for this camera where when you use auto ISO, you let the camera adjust the ISO light sensitivity settings so you don't have to keep adjusting the dial. They made it where the minimum ISO is 200 because at 200, they say the M10 sensor gives you the most dynamic range from highlights to shadows. And so when using the minimum ISO feature and this lens being wide open, it can only go down to 200, which still lets in a lot of light. So sometimes some of the images are a little bit too bright.
Yeah.
So I had to adjust it to 100, even though I'm not getting like the maximum dynamic range. 100 is less light sensitive, so your pictures won't be overblown or too bright.
Yeah,
it should be okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Not too bright, not too dark.
Yes, so that's how I'm shooting it now, ISO 100. And then I love the rangefinder cameras. You have the three main components to control exposure. Right here you have the aperture. See the aperture, the lens changing to let the light in. You have the shutter speed right here. And then of course you have the ISO, the light sensitivity. Yeah, pretty simple camera. I love shooting this.
Everything's on the screen now.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna change into your second outfit.
Okay.
And probably we're gonna head down there. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Same position, but look towards the sun.
Front and your back, be careful who you hugging, you dab, cause these niggas ain't your brother.
Okay, so I'm using the live view of the camera. So let me just turn the camera back on. If you just press play, and Thea has already starred the photos, which I'll edit later in Lightroom. If you press the LV button, it stands for live view. So with the M10, which has live view, if you start to move the focus ring, I'm using the 50mm Summilux, and you can see slightly around her eyelashes, there is a red outlining, and that means you're in focus. And then all you need to do is take the photo. And I don't know why it's super bright. Why is it 1/4? Oh, that's right. because the shutter was on 1/4. Somebody might have been touching it earlier, but it is my fault because I'm the photographer and I should know. Okay, so zooming in again, using the focus ring. When you move the focus ring, it automatically zooms in. Thea's eyelashes are in red outline. Take the photo, and then when you press play and zoom in, you're for sure to have it focus on 1.4.
Party in the summer, yeah. Party in the summer, yeah. Party in the summer.
So this is how the focus patch looks like in the M10. It's going to be hard to see filming through the iPhone. There we go. But you have to focus, make sure, this is what I'm doing. Thea's eyes are lined up. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. And once your eyes are lined up, then we take the shot. And we're going to see if we did focus correctly. And it looks like we did. It is in focus. But yes, if you can't really focus through the viewfinder using the focusing patch, you can always use live view.
Summer, the winter don't stand no chance. Party in the summer, yeah. Party in the summer, yeah. Party in the summer, the winter don't stand no chance.
Gotta watch your front and your back. Be careful who you hugging, you dab. Cause these ain't your brother like that. Don't really love you like that.
So we are done with our photo shoot. I need to say that the Leica M10 is sort of like a personal choice, a personal camera. I do enjoy shooting this camera more than, for example, Sony cameras, Canon, Nikon, Fujifilm, just because I feel like I'm part of the photo creation process. Like I'm manually focusing the lens, making sure you're in focus.
Right.
Sometimes the newer cameras with their AI autofocus, right? The auto eye autofocus, sometimes they do miss.
Yes.
And I feel like that if I can get my manual focusing skills down better, I'll have more keepers from portrait photo shoots. And anyway, you're not doing any sports or running anything like that. No. You're just standing still and I'm taking your picture.
No movement shots, no action shots.
Yes, no action shots. It is still quite expensive.
It is.
Used market, I say about $4,000 in 2024 for the Leica M10. The 50mm Summilux I got in Japan, I got a good deal for $2,500. But sometimes on a used market, it's like $3,000. So maybe $6,000 or $7,000 for this whole setup used. But I do enjoy using it, and I do plan to keep this for at least a year.
At least a year.
Those that follow me on the channel are like, how come this guy's always buying, selling all the time? It's because I'm never really happy with the camera system, but this really brings joy to me. And the viewers watching this episode of Guam Photography, they have seen your pictures already because we're going to put it on the screen. So I hope they do like the pictures coming out from this camera. And I think it's kind of like a film vibe a little bit.
A little bit.
Just coming out from this camera. I think it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see it, like greenish tones. A little bit. It's like very sharp, especially with this lens. Very sharp. Yellow and green. You can see it, right? Very sharp, and then the background of this lens is nice and blurry. But I'm gonna try to do like a film preset.
Because Canons are a little bit different, or Sony's when you take a shot like that.
Yes.
Completely different, like color palette.
Yes.
I would say.
Sometimes Sony's maybe a little bit more magenta. Yeah, like that. But how do you like the pictures overall coming out from the camera, the photo shoot?
I love them. Very good for portraits for sure. Maybe a little bit more difficult for somebody who's beginning, because like you said, you want to do everything yourself manually.
Correct.
But it pays off in the end. You get the shots that you want. It looks great. I like how my skin looks.
Yeah, the skin tones are pretty good on this camera.
Good. I like the natural softiness to it. Very soft aesthetic, nothing too harsh. The colors aren't too harsh, but it gets the photos that you want.
A little bit more natural, I would say.
Not too harsh, like those photos that people edit too much.
Yes.
Or that come from a digital camera.
Yes.
But very natural, very easy on the eyes.
I
Sometimes
agree.
we forget to appreciate the easy, simple things in life.
Yes, which this camera is very simple. As you can see, like the menus here, it's not that much menus. Like that's basically it.
Yeah, but my Canon, I have to play around with it constantly, trying to figure out what I'm doing.
What Canon camera do you have?
It's the Canon G7X.
Oh, that's a good camera to take with you and travel.
Yes, for your Instagram photos, your travel photos, but that's for somebody who doesn't really know too much about the settings well. For me, it's a good beginner camera because, you know, like the auto, like you said, it's AI, does it automatically, but it's still good to do it manually so it gets the pictures that you really want and how you want the outcome to be. But good startup.
Yes. And once again, your Instagram for viewers to follow you. Do you have a TikTok or?
I don't. That's just for fun. I don't really want to plug that. It's not nothing like that.
So your IG is
moonlit.thea.
Yes. And of course, on the screen again and in the description below. Thank you again so much for helping me out review this Leica M10. It's been really fun.
It was.
And I've learned also to use the live view in situations where like we're down there on the bench and I couldn't really
finding the angles.
Yes, live view really came in handy.
Came through.
Yes, and it's pretty good refresh rate. And it was easier to kind of focus, zoom in on your face, see the red outlines, yes, and then take the photo.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Until next time.
Yes. Bye.
Now my summer hotter. Move too swift for all the lame shit. You asking for a favor, how I know we ain't the same, bitch. Watch how in and out lane switch. They trying to earn cheese off a K, but they ain't Swiss.